How you doing, everybody? Greetings from the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. Day one in the books. The Green Bay Packers Brain Trust not yet at the podium. That'll come on Friday as both Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy are scheduled to speak. But all three other NFC North teams took to the podium today, as well as two University of Wisconsin offensive linemen also made available to the huge, and I mean huge, media gathering at Lucas Oil Stadium. Let's talk about the NFC North first. Marc Trestman, the new Bears head coach, getting up on stage. He was the first one today, and he talked about how far behind he feels in terms of knowing the rest of the league coming from the CFL. He's not familiar not only with his own NFC North opponents, having been out of the NFL since 2004, but also just spending his time getting ready with his own team. Jim Schwartz from the Detroit Lions, their head coach, also speaking. He talked about Titus Young, talked about some of their needs in terms of getting their running game going, which may sound familiar to Packers fans. We'll do a story on that later in the week after we hear what Mike McCarthy says about his running game. Jim Schwartz also talked about the potential rule change that would make up for the bad call that he experienced on Thanksgiving when he threw his red challenge flag. They did not replay a clear 81-yard touchdown that shouldn't have been by Justin Forsett of the Houston Texans because he threw his flag. Remember, Mike McCarthy got away with doing that in the finale for the regular season in Minnesota. Speaking of Minnesota, their general manager, Rick Spielman, got at the podium today, and he talked about the fact that they have no intention, key word, of trading Percy Harvin at this point. I don't know if that means that they're not going to trade him, but their intentions right now are not to do that. Also, former Packers staffer John Schneider, the former director of football operations for the Packers, now in his third year as the general manager of the Seattle Seahawks, took to the podium, talked about a variety of topics as well. Always good to see John. He also talked about Ted Thompson and how close to the vest Thompson plays it. You can read about that at ESPNWisconsin.com. Meanwhile, on the players' side, both Travis Frederick, the center from the University of Wisconsin, and Ricky Wagner, the tackle, were available. Two of only four Badgers who are at this. It was interesting to ask both of them their interest level as Wisconsin kids, both having grown up there and played at the University of Wisconsin, what their interest level would be in playing for the Packers, who clearly have some question marks on their offensive line. Travis Frederick didn't want to eliminate any of the other 31 teams, so he kind of skirted the question, but Ricky Wagner admitting that he would love to play for the Packers. But again, both these guys would just be happy to be in the league and continue the tradition that the University of Wisconsin has in terms of offensive linemen in the NFL. 14 of them drafted in the last 12 drafts, offensive linemen from the University of Wisconsin. We'll have more tomorrow with both Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy, as we said, taken to the podium. Until then, we'll see you next time.